I've known John Arbolita for, I have to think about how many years. So I've called upon him frequently based on whatever it was he was focusing on the time to support us and as a thought leader for the work that we do in the alumni space. And he describes this notion of energy leadership and what his thinking was or what that could bring to the team. The more he talked, I thought, this is perfect.
The switch to 100% remote work at a bat of an eye, really thinking you were going home for 2 weeks and that turned into 18 months plus. We definitely went into hyper service mode and just trying to figure out how do we get people to be able to work and support our colleagues now in this new environment. One of the challenges to the culture again was just people not being able to be together and being impacted just by all the fears and anxiety that went with the pandemic. I think people were a little skeptical at first, how much woo-woo is that really going to be? But so quickly jumped into very meaningful conversations. And so what John brings to it and the consultants bring to it and in their style of coaching is really focuses on how you're showing up and how that feels for you and how you bring your best self and how those days that you're feeling vulnerable with some anxiety, how you give yourself some space and grace and also give your colleagues some space and grace to just say, hey, it's going to take us a while to catch up here. And you know what? In this organization, that's okay. For those that really did engage, which was most of the people that were in the groups I were in, it's just that awareness is huge. Even if you can't do anything about what level you're at, knowing you're at that level for that day, for this situation, and that this is how I'm feeling today or how I am dealing with this today. Just knowing that and knowing there's a place to go that might be a little bit better and starting to talk about strategies to get there, even if you're not quite ready, was, at least for me personally and for those within my team that I talked with shortly after the session, was just so eye-opening. There was just incredible conversations that were had, and people, the focus on for the first part of the project, people were really present the whole time because of the way that John and his colleagues really engaged and jumped right in. When we went to the second phase of our energy leadership project, it was taking it from the big picture and the entire team being together in breakout groups to really taking a look at what was the landscape for each team. And one of the things I asked John and Cheryl to do in this case was to take the results by team. One of the real takeaways in the second session was, I'm at this energy level. That does not mean who I'm speaking with is also at the same level, and that they're going to be somewhere else, and that has nothing to do with me. And that was something that really resonated with our group.
I've truly seen the buy-in from my staff, which is something, don't always get, at least 100% don't always get. So if I were to, really reflect back on this, it's worthwhile to give it a try. And I think it's worthwhile to engage any and all levels of staff.
It was so clear, probably even about, 10 minutes in, if even that long, that people really needed this space. And again, thinking about the fact that we were all in our Zoom boxes, that there was just this relief over people's faces of, I've been waiting to talk about this. I think what the new kind of leadership approach, I think, is so important at this time. And I've talked with a number of colleagues about it because I just don't see a way that as a leader that we can jump back in and pretend things never happened, And I'm not saying that's what people do, but I think people are so eager to get back in and jump back into work. I don't think we can do that in a true and transparent way unless we acknowledge what has happened. And that's the door that a new kind of leadership opened.